Yo, what is going on, guys? Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on The Flash Season 6, and this will be my review for The Flash Season 6, Episode 15, otherwise titled The Exorcism of Nash Wells. But before I do that, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. And also, I am very close to 600 subscribers, so let's try and hit that as soon as possible, preferably before March ends. And also, spoiler alert for those who haven't watched the episode, you guys have been warned. So this episode kicks off with Mirror Camilla this time due to our original Camilla now being in the mirror world. So Mirror Camilla and Mirror Iris are now assigned this new mission by Eva, and they're after this prismatic refractor. Now we then see Eobard Thawne locked up in the meta-dampening prison, and he's acting as Nash, and he did fool me. I thought he was Nash as well. But we also see Barry be given this new thing called the speed gauge, whatever you want to call it. I say it's speed gauge, and it basically monitors Barry's speed force. So there's a green zone which they preferred Barry to run at, and then there's a yellow zone, and when he reaches the red zone, that's when he drains most of his speed force, and he needs to watch out from phasing and stuff. And obviously this troubles Barry because he has to save the city, and the fact that he's said to run at green shows how serious his speed force has been drained. But we then had Joe have a talk with Captain Singh about a mole in CCPD, and they're reporting to Black Hole, but they don't know who it is. I'm very interested to see who it is. At first I thought it may have been Captain Singh, but he's too good of a character to do that. I like Captain Singh. I would hate it if he's the mole, but I am very interested to see who it is. Now we then had Eobard Thawne, as I said, tricking Team Flash into thinking that he was Nash, and he nearly escapes. I thought he was gonna escape, and that was gonna be it. But then the other parts of the trailer would have just been hallucinations or stuff. But Barry uses his speed and catches him. We then had Thawne getting into Barry's head, and he disses on Nora as well. And Barry did also attempt to pull a reverse flash on him, which just shows how angry Thawne makes him. And these two never disappoint when they're in scene. It always becomes so intense, and I just love it. And then Caitlin gets angry because she sees Barry's monitor going red, and he's Thawne just leaving you to get angrier and angrier, so get out of here. And we then have Cecile trying to monitor whether it was Thawne or Nash, and I thought that was a good thing to do, using Cecile to see if it is Nash or if it's Thawne. But we get Nash's flashbacks, so we are in Earth 719, and we have Maya, who is Allegra's doppelganger, but she steals something from Nash, and Nash finds out, and then Maya mentions that she doesn't have parents, and then Nash offers if she wants to join him in his missions. And we also see this is when Maya gets that hat that she has in the photo. Now we then go to Nash's head, and we do see Eobard Thawne there as well, and he's pretty much using all this negativity inside of him to make Nash feel very vulnerable, to a point where Thawne could use his negative speed force to take full control of Nash's body. We then head to Mirror Iris and Camilla, and they're in Mercury Labs looking for that thing. I forgot the name already. It was the refractor, I think it was, whatever it was called. But yeah, so they're in Mirror Iris and Mirror Camilla are in Mercury Labs, and they're looking for that thing that Eva asked them to get. But we do then see Sunshine, and we get the reveal that she's working for Black Hole. But instead of Barry, due to his speed force, it's Frost who heads to Mercury Labs. But we know Danielle Panabaker is pregnant, so they did have to record whatever they're doing above the waist. It did look really weird, and like I did catch like one screenshot as well where like you could like really see that it's her stunt double that was doing the stunts, which I thought like wasn't very well handled. But Frost and Sunshine do have a fight. Now we did have Barry who is like getting really worried, so he uses some Velocity X to boost his Speed Force, but he started glitching out. But one really cool thing that happened when he was running was his lightning turned blue, which was a really nice zoom reference. It just looked really cool when it like turned blue. I was like, whoa. But we then had CCPD in possession with the artifact, and then Iris gives Barry this like nice talk about how metas have limits, which I thought was a really nice talk. Now in this episode we also saw Joe, who started getting a bit suspicious after from what Wally has said, and like he's been like seeing how weird Iris has been acting when like she's interested more in the artifact rather than like Barry, like calming Barry down when he's upset. And I am very interested to see how this will play out. But in CCPD we get the attack, and Barry Allen without his speed saves the day as we see him switch off like all the lights, and so would mean that like Sunshine can't use her powers because there isn't any light. We then had Team Flash enter Nash's mind to encourage him to regain back control. But when Barry and Thawne were facing off, it was just really intense, and Thawne kept talking about Nora. But Barry had a very nice line where he talks about like all this grief and sadness ends up becoming their strength and not their weaknesses. But Nash does get encountered to go and face whatever he is going to face. So we then get this flashback to when he was in Earth 13, and we had Maya unhook herself to grab this artifact. And she ends up dying because whatever happened, like there was like an earthquake which made her like lose balance, and then she fell off and died. But then this then ends with Eobard being out of Nash's body and out of the sky, and we had like this like really cool Speedforce storm reference where like Thawne's lightning was like everywhere around the sky, which I thought was such a cool shot. So now negative tachyons were missing, and it's out of Nash's body. However, they did say Thawne is still around, so he's clearly looking for a new host. But we then had Cisco talk to Nash about some stuff. Nash does have like this mini talk with Earth 2 Wells as well, so their connection I'm guessing will become more friendly rather than ghost hunting. And I am very interested to see like because of like all this like all these like wells in his head, will this become a superpower where he can like become one of those like wells, so like he could use Earth 2 Wells and like he could like boost his intelligence with that. That would be a really cool superpower for Nash. But I am very interested to see what they're gonna do with all these like Wells stuff. But this episode ends with Barry having this plan on using Nora's journal to create this new Speed Force, since Thawne taught Nora how to create a Speed Force. So Barry will now use the journal to create his own. But instead of negativity, Barry wants to use this, to create his Speed Force with positive emotions rather than negativity. But I did think that the use of Nora's journal was a nice choice they did. Now this episode ends with Mirror Iris giving this refractor to Eva, and she says that she's one step closer to liberation to pursue her villainous plans. Now I'm not a fan of this Mirror storyline. If she's the main villain, I would be really disappointed. I think that it's more like revenge against Black Hole, but if she is the main villain, I would be pretty disappointed. But overall, great episode. I really loved this episode. Eric Wallace is killing it with season 6, and I will give this episode a 9 out of 10, with my highlight character without a doubt Nash Wells, and he's carried the episode. And yeah, this is pretty much it for this video, guys. So if you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys feel about this episode, and I will see you guys in my next video.